So this is Charlie Murder. It's an indie game released by Ska Studios a long time ago on the Xbox 360. I have played through this game once and unlocked the harder difficulty. And I will say right now, the harder difficulty has kind of solved a lot of the problems that I had with this game. Okay, yeah. So I guess since I beat it, I get booted back here every time I exit the game. This is like the difficulty select world. And I kind of got spoiled because I looked at the achievements and there is a harder difficulty, which I am looking forward to playing through and beating. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. But yeah, so it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. You got your light attacks and then your heavies. Then RT. This opens your tattoo abilities. I've leveled up apparently. I have gotten most of them. I think I only need to visit like one more tattoo shop to get the last couple tattoos or last tattoo. Yeah, so it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. I really enjoy these types of games. For the longest time, my favorite game on the PS3 was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which unfortunately you can't get anymore because I think there was like a licensing issue, and they pulled it from the store. So, yeah, apparently there was like a big market thing where people were selling their PS3s at a high price because they had copies of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World on it. But I don't think I could ever sell mine because I just enjoy that game way too much. But yeah, so it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. The basic combat is not too complex, which is like my only criticism of the game is I wish that the combat was more fleshed out. You're really only pressing your heavies or your light attacks and your heavies and then your grabs. That's it. There's no like directional combos or you press things to do certain moves. Except I guess there is one, you just press X and then I guess triangle or Y or whatever controller you're using to do an uppercut, which is really useful for getting out of dangerous situations. So I guess in a sense that the combat is a little more in depth in terms of your movement and your agility, getting out of situations. For example, what's it like if I uppercut and then if I uppercut then I grab him. You move, as you see, you move a little bit in a direction. The direction you grab him in. I've already played through the game, so I kind of I need to get better at commentating. I'm just kind of thinking stuff in my head, not saying it out loud. But yeah, so my issues with the initial game, which I should talk about. In the initial game, I never really blocked. I just kind of tanked all the hits because the initial game was kind of too easy. So I would find myself not blocking at all. But that kind of got solved in this harder difficulty because enemies do more damage. So I'm forced to block now, which is good because it's not fun, I guess, to always just tank the hit and then mash your healing button and then just take the hits until you get down to a low point, then mash the healing button. It's more fun to be more tactical with it. So since enemies do a ton more damage, you can't just wait until your health gets low enough to justify healing, because that last hit might just end your run. Yeah, I am planning on playing up to the graveyard boss because I don't want to show off too much of the game, just in hopes that I might convince somebody to go get it, because it is pretty fun. And like all beat 'em ups, it has 4-player local co-op, but it also has online multiplayer. But I'm like 90% sure that nobody's playing online right now, because this game is really, really old. But so this game is really old, but I think it was just recently ported to PC. I don't know, I could be wrong though. It might have been ported to PC like a year ago. But so yeah, it's I keep starting sentences and not finishing them because I'm like just so focused on combat right now. But yeah, I feel like I don't know. I really like the art style of this game. It's like old like Newgrounds art. If you guys have ever been on Newgrounds, the other studio that kind of has similar art to this is probably Behemoth Studios or Behemoth, whatever they're called. They made a game called Castle Crashers. They made a game called Battle Block Theater, and I think they released one called Pit People. But I'm like 90% sure that not a lot of people bought that game because I guess they just weren't interested or whatever. But the other game that this kind of reminds me of is it's a really old game. I don't. What's the name of it? It's like, oh, I think I remember the name of it. It's like Dad and Me, I think it's called, which is another. I think it was a side-scrolling beat 'em up too. In fact, I think a lot of these like Newgrounds games are side-scrolling beat 'em ups, like Castle Crashers and stuff like that, which I'm fine with because I really enjoy beat 'em ups. I don't know why. I'm really bad at most games. I'm bad at beat 'em ups too, but for some reason I enjoy beat 'em ups a lot more. Alright, so now that we're at the clothes shop, I can kind of explain clothing mechanics more. So that was a little showcase of the tattoo abilities. I don't want to. I think I'm only going to show off like the first two tattoo abilities because they're the first two that you get. I don't want to spoil the other ones too much, but I forgot about that. Yeah, enemies, they telegraph their attacks, which I really like. It's not like you don't need to be what's the word, twitchy with it. You don't need to have like the quick reflexes. They telegraph, so you can predict what they're gonna do. Oh, died. Which I like because a lot of games nowadays focus on oh, you need to be quick with it. You gotta have those cat-like reflexes. But I don't know. I like being more tactical than fast because I can't be fast, I guess. I guess that's the other reason why I enjoy side-scrolling beat 'em ups that are like this, I guess. Wow, I'm actually gonna die. But yeah, I'll probably show the level select screen. I haven't played. Yeah, obliterated. I haven't played too far into this harder difficulty because I wanted to review. But yeah, again, a lot of the problems that I had with this game were like the game's a little too easy, which is solved by this harder difficulty. I didn't even know that there was a harder difficulty until I unlocked it. It said Chaos World, and I thought, oh, maybe it's just like New Game Plus, but the enemies spawn in regions that they don't usually. And what I mean by that is later on in the game, there's different regions, like the Graveyard region, where different enemy types spawn, which is nice. It's not like lacking in enemy variety, I should say. They do reuse like the initial enemy throughout the entire game, but it helps that there's more. You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna cut back to when I can get back to that clothes shop, because I was going to talk about the clothing mechanic. Actually, you know what? I was walking by it, and I was like, should I talk about this? But I guess I should. But it's it's really fun, I guess, to see, like, they're not really throwbacks because this game was made during the time when these were popular. But you got times when these things are relevant. But you guys remember when RAR XD was a thing? You guys remember that? Like a really popular thing too. And in the background, if you can see, you got your Twilight reference, Sparkle Face. Yeah, this game really is like a time capsule to look back on. I guess how our culture was back then. I don't know. I talk about those references now, and now my mind is like walking down that path, that thought train. But I don't know. I feel like this kind of, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like this kind of style has been kind of lost. It's, I don't know. Is this considered its own art style, or is it just considered like flash art or something? No, so you unlock those hearts later on in the game. They're basically like curse hearts. They're like I think they kill everything on the screen if you can pick them up. So that's what that was. But you unlock those later in the game. Alright, so now we're back at the clothes shop. Hopefully I don't die again, so I can actually show you like clothing mechanic in this game. Alright, here's the second tattoo you get very early on. I'm going to die. I don't know if I'll leave this part of the video in because I had to use. Wow, I'm actually getting destroyed. Yeah, I'm probably cutting this out because I don't want to show off too many tattoos. It would help if I wasn't so bad at the game. Picking them all out of the healing stuff, I'm down to alcohol now. Alcohol, which I'll explain later, but alcohol basically is kind of useless in combat. And you're probably wondering what that little potato is. I guess I'll explain some of it now, but you can brew alcohol in this game, which is useful for improving your stats before you have to level up, or before you level up. Yeah, you have to beat up the potato guy before he runs away. That's a really weird sentence to say. But yeah, you gotta beat up the potato guy before he runs away, otherwise you lose out on whatever bonus he's carrying. Wow, he shot me, and I died. Amazing. Spectacular. His bullets can go through the enemies. Yeah, so every time you level up, you unlock, you can get a new ability. I'm gonna get Relic 3, because if you're playing solo, you need Relic 3 in order to get, I think, the good ending. Which I won't spoil, but you do need Relic 3 to get the good ending. So I need something that boosts my anarchy. There's like a skill cap. Like, so I'm level 28, so my stat, I guess a more accurate descriptor would be my stat cap is 250 because I'm at level 28. Now, if you're smart, like how I wasn't, you'd realize earlier that. So I had the idea in my head that the alcohol stat boosts are only like temporary, so just use them like a fight to boost your stat temporarily, so you can, like, I don't know, make the fight easier. And then I found out, oh no, I actually went, I tested it. I was like, you know, I don't know for sure, so I'm just gonna test it. So I tested to see if alcohol bonuses were permanent, and yeah, they were. So I felt kind of stupid that I was just like drinking my alcohol only during the middle of fights and not really brewing any. Yeah, I was like, my reasoning behind not brewing more alcohol was like, oh well, the ingredients you need for alcohol are so rare, so I don't know, I'm just not really going to use them. And now I know the reason for that, for them being so rare, is because they give you permanent stat boost, which is like really good. Curse heart. Yeah, you may be wondering, like, is your sound mixing kind of messed up because that scream is really loud? But no, that scream is as loud as it is in game. And you'll see during the graveyard why that is, but you can probably guess that it's because of jump scares, which is real, which is true. Yeah, I've been playing kind of stupid because I'm commentating. That's my excuse. That's my excuse I'm going with. The reason why I'm playing so bad is because I'm commentating. Oh, wow. This is getting brutal. You know, you have a moment during gameplay where you're like, wow, I'm so good at this game because you do something. But now, this harder difficulty is making me think like, oh, I was never good at the game. It was a lie that the game is telling me. Also, it's because I guess I'm trying to not use my other two tattoos, which I usually use for when I play. That's also my other excuse for why I'm playing so bad, is that, oh, I'm not using my full power. You know what, I'm gonna go in there with like 2 grenades just to make the fight like a little easier. Oh, so these blue hearts, they act as, they heal you, but they also speed up all your cooldowns so you can use your tattoos faster. Oh, but again, I keep playing and not saying anything because I'm saying stuff in my head, or I'm focusing on combat. But one of the things that I kind of didn't like was that I was never really using melee weapons because I didn't really see a need to. I'm going to die. But I wasn't really using any weapons because I didn't really see a need to. Like, I would just use only like my fists because I felt that was better. But I need that heart, and I just lost all the heart, or the health that the heart gave me. But yeah, I didn't really use weapons because I didn't really see a need to. But on this harder difficulty, weapons are like an essential thing, which I need to remember because I haven't been doing it. Yeah, that move, that grab move that I keep doing, it's unlocked from the very beginning, so you don't need to worry about like not being able to use it if you ever get the game. But it's also really good for clearing out wherever you're gonna land, because that I don't know what it's called, like a spiral, like a downward spiral. I don't know what that is, but it's really good for clearing out where you land because it deals damage to wherever you're landing to. You get also you have emails that you can get. I should probably explain it too. But if you press down on your D-pad, you also unlock a camera, or get a camera out. And if you take pictures of QR codes, you get free stuff, which is pretty good. The free stuff, in my experience, has been like kind of less quality than what they sell in the shops, but it's usually better than whatever I have equipped. Also, apparently everything's more expensive, which is understandable since all the stats are better. But here's a good opportunity to explain the clothing system. So you have various stats that are tied to each item. As an addition to that, you also have specific effects that they apply onto your character. So this has a 1% chance to make a hit critical, and it also has a 12% chance to do or not a 12% chance, a 12% knockback effect on whatever you're punching. There are different like elements to this game. I already got the achievement for, I think, attacking an enemy with every element. But let's see if I can find the email. It's probably gonna be very early on, where yeah, so here's all the elements so fire, where it immolates on crit, which just sets the person on fire. The reason why a lot of these elements are important is because they're really good for insta-killing enemies, so you don't have to knock them down all the way, take out all their health. You can just get them down pretty low and then kill them, which is good. It reduces your time to kill. So yeah, there's fire, frost, thunder, poison, acid, and dark fire, and then I think there's curse too, but yeah. Oh, and here's all the special effects. There's rapid jabs, which I don't know if rapid jabs actually increases your punching ability. I think it just increases the amount of times an enemy can get hit by one punch, but I could be wrong. But the caveat to that is your punches only do 45% of what your damage is. Your shockwave, which is, I guess they call it a body slam, which is the move you do where you uppercut and then grab them in the air and spin all the way down. I kind of like this one because it does clear out the area where I'm landing better than just vanilla body slam. And stasis is one that I really like, but I haven't really seen too much of. But when you knock an enemy into the air, they kind of float in the air for a little bit, so it lets you perform air combos easier and really lets you focus on aerial combat, which I prefer to do. I don't like being on the ground too much because what am I trying to say? Being on the ground increases my chances of being punched is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I struggled so much with that sentence, but I did. What's my clothing that I have right now? Well, I have a better hat. So I'll wear the better hat, and then yeah, I kept the original jacket. I don't know, I never really sell my starting equipment in any game. I just like to hold on to it forever. I think we'll buy this because it's like way better than anything I own right now. Oh yeah, you also, I forgot to say this, but you auto-equip whatever you buy. So you don't have to scroll through your menu like I did, because I forgot. And then we'll buy these gloves. Sure, why not? I probably have like really low money, but it's fine. Also, I need to get more healing stuff. I'm all out of healing stuff. So this, I guess. I have a hard time letting go of. I have a hard time letting go of my equipment because I'm like, but that has like it has leech on it. Which, you know what? I'm just gonna start this whole sentence over. Leech lets you take. Why am I struggling so much with this sentence? Leech lets you heal by punching enemies. There. I don't know why I had so much trouble with that sentence. Maybe I'm having like a short circuit in the brain right now or something. I don't know. I'm looking at it now, and I guess I wish there was a way to like to apply effects or upgrade your clothing system, or not your clothing system, upgrade the clothes that you wear. Because I don't know, I hate, like I said, I can't get rid of. I have trouble getting rid of clothes in this game. Because I see the effects that they have, and I probably should get out of the menu because it's spoilers. But I see the effects that the clothes have, and I'm like, I kind of want those effects for I kind of want to use those effects, but the clothing is just really bad. Yeah, but yeah, there's a little tutorial right there. Here's the other thing too. Not everything that is scannable is a QR code. For example, this. Sometimes they're just like random things that are on the floor or on the wall, and you have to like. You're like, is this something that I can take a picture of and get something? Which kind of sucks because I'm not even paying attention to the background. I'm just focusing all on combat. Okay, so here we are at the brewery. So now I can finally get into the alcohol system. So for the alcohol, you need at least 1 malt and 1 barley, and then you can mix and match all these types. See, there's only really 2 types in this game. There's aged malt and white malt, then gold barley, then red barley. So yeah, you mix and match to get different types of what's it called? Let's just do one just to see what they're called, because I completely forgot. Yeah, wort. So yeah, you mix and match to get different types of wort. like red wort, bitter wort, and then sweet wort, I think it is. So I'm gonna save the rest of my malts and barleys for later, because I think I'm still at the level cap, aren't I? Yeah. And then after that, so not only do you need to make your worts, you also got to go over here and choose a yeast, your lager yeast or your ale yeast, to mix with one of your worts to ferment it. These give different. I guess I'll just use lager yeast since I don't have a lot of ale yeast. But these give you different alcohols that improve your stats in different ways. Now you're seeing it and you're saying, "Oh, why is all the stat bonuses zeros? Why is all the stat bonuses like 0, or why are they reduced?" It's because I'm at the level cap right now. If I level up once, all those things should go back to normal.